no matter what angle I take with this one, it will not result in a happy ending. Unemployed people over the age of 45, entry level jobs, and gig work. Those are three areas that I have direct firsthand experience. And so, for the people who are over the age of 45 who are currently unemployed, the harsh reality is that you may never work again. And if you do get a job, you also have to face the reality that it may not be the type of work that you were doing at the time when you were laid off. This job market has completely changed. More often than I care to admit, I am having conversations with myself along the lines of, if I lost my job today, what would my options be? What could I feasibly do at my age with certain physical limitations? What could I do to be able to keep some money coming in? And with the way that the job market is, those options are very limited. I don't care how much education you have. I don't care how much experience you have. The options for us over the age of 45 today, those options don't look very good. You know, we were taught to have anywhere from 3 to 6 months of living expenses to be able to cover ourselves in the event that we were laid off. But in today's job market, people have been laid off for sometimes a year, even 2 years or more. So when costs are continuing to go up, wages aren't keeping track with those costs. How do you realistically plan and prepare to have a reserve of 2 years worth of living expenses to carry you through long-term uncertain unemployment? There were only two other times in the month of November when job losses surpassed 70,000 for that month. That was back in 2022. We all know back then people were resigning, different job market, different circumstances. The other time that it rose above 70,000 for the month was in 2008. Blink twice if you know what happened in 2008. Back in 2008, we had entry level jobs that we could choose from, right? Jobs that weren't paying the same as we were making when we may have gotten laid off, but it was something that you could do if your unemployment benefits ran out and you needed to be able to quickly make some money to be able to keep the money coming in, right? Fast forward to today, those types of entry level jobs no longer exist. I'll speak from the standpoint of retail. I don't see now hiring signs in my grocery stores anymore, and the local coffee shops in the neighborhood, and even in some of the retail stores. So being able to fall back on an entry level job quickly, that's not the case with the job market that we're facing right now. The other thing is gig work. And I talked about how gig work carried me through a very rough financial time back in 2017, 2018, in that time frame. I went and signed up for Amazon Flex. I drove for Lyft, and that was a great way for me to be able to supplement my money and have some control over the time, that I put into doing that gig work. Today, we have more people who are waiting on the waiting list to sign up for gig work than we have gig work available. The other thing you have to consider is that in the economy that we are in today, apps like food delivery apps, Uber Eats, DoorDash, things along those lines, people aren't using those services as much today as they were in the past. Why? People don't have jobs to be able to pay for those types of conveniences. Job security in America does not exist. Being loyal to an employer today gets you absolutely nowhere. The billionaires do not have our best interest at heart, and they are certainly not coming to save us. I am going to keep an eye on these headlines, and I will meet you back here for our next discussion.